this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill no one.
Wait a second.
Oh, no.
We return to our planet. The High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies. We like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings, you're watching SeptumSin versus the world. I'm SeptumSin. I'm here with Kotobuki Jake.
Hi.
And we're here to show you what we got.
Yeah.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
So, this time, of course, we're back. If you have checked us last week, I did a solo pickup. Let me know if you see that pickup, did you like the format? Because, you know, with Jake's backlog running lower and lower, eventually he's not going to be on with me, but I have many more. Many more.
Right.
So, eventually it's just going to be me.
I'll probably
okay.
have enough to come on once in a while, but...
So, you know, just so you can let me know if that works. When it's two of us, there's only so much I will put forward. But I will put the occasional picture in. But there's two of us here, not as much room. And if I put like a big screen in front of his face, he'd probably not like it too much. So,
y'all might like it.
So I guess we'll let you start with this time.
Okay, so I'm going to kick us off with a series that will... I don't know, you might need to rename the Anime Anticlimax if we're no longer doing just anime, but...
Animation Anticlimax.
Animation Anticlimax. So, this month we'll be doing a non-anime animation. And I got hooked up with the complete series. So, this is the complete series of Adventure Time. Pretty fun show from what I've seen so far, which granted is not a huge amount. But very popular comic book series and a very popular show on Cartoon Network. It's pretty interesting. It's a lot of fun. And I look forward to getting a little further. I've only just started watching through the set, but you know, they're short episodes, so they go fast. Yep.
I mean, yeah, that's like the first season is like 20 some episodes, but they're short. So it's more like a 12 episode series, which is, you know, that's doable. So, yeah, it's interesting how light it starts at the beginning, and then how dark it starts to get towards the end. I wouldn't say, well, yeah, because it goes more. I mean, at the beginning you see little hints of stuff with the world building, like you'll see well,
they start right away with the what was it, the decorpsifier or whatever?
Oh, well, that was a
it's definitely pretty morbid from the beginning.
A reanimator slash what was it? Return of the Living Dead spoof.
Right.
But yeah, they show some stuff like as you see through, you'll notice some little things in the background that indicate a lot of the history of the world of Ooh, which is kind of cool. I didn't like it at first because of the art style. It bothered me. Still bothers me a little bit.
It's not a pretty series, let's put it that way.
But as I watched it, I got to like it. Like I figured that he would like Lady Rainicorn because
what's that?
That's the unicorn that has like the rainbow mane.
Oh,
goes out with the dog.
Okay.
Excellent series though. So my first one is not media. It's to prepare for an Adventure Time role-playing game, which we will eventually do, should the printers be able to print stuff, because, well, it suddenly may be more costly to print overseas, and they don't really print stuff here very often. So, we'll see. But I do have dice for it. I have 2 sets. One for an NPC character, which is more of a Mario Party set that I showed earlier. But this one is my GM set. The coveted Arby's dice set. As you can see, these are hefty little fuckers. They each have, for their like high number, a little Arby's hat inscribed on there. See?
Huh.
And I'm gonna show a picture over here so you can see them a little bit better. But I like them. They have surprisingly high quality for what you would think they are, and they fit my little dice roller thing, which is nice. The Mario Party ones do not.
Okay. All right. My next one is going to be a 2-pack. I still have this one. I may still have 1 or 2 left. I haven't looked, but again, when Disney Movie Club shuttered, I did a few last-minute purchases, things that needed to be done. This one combined a DVD and a Blu-ray into one thin Blu-ray set, so it's a nice space saver. And it's 2 of the best films from Pixar, The Incredibles and The Incredibles 2. Really, really great twofer. Again, this takes up a lot less space. I had Incredibles 2 on Blu-ray already, but I had The Incredibles on DVD, so this takes up a lot less space. Plus, it's just more durable, better quality. It was worth the upgrade. Again, The Incredibles is still one of my very favorite Pixar films. And the second one, I disagree with him that it's a carbon copy of the first. It's not, but it's close enough. It's not as good in some ways, but it's still a hell of a lot of fun. And I'm still shocked it took them so long to put out a sequel, because it seemed like the kind of series that could be a series, but good, solid stuff. If you never checked it out, you should. Yeah. Probably the best superhero films not based on comics, or at least up there.
Have you seen that one twofer that they have with Mary and Max and the snail something? It's one by the same people. They're doing a 2-for Blu-ray for that.
No, I don't think I have. I have Mary and Max. Are you talking about a Marcel the snail?
No.
Marcel the shell?
No, that's a different one. It's like a snail one, though. It's like actual snail. Huh. I actually have the Marcel the
I don't know about that one. Like I said, I have Mary and Max, and it is an interesting movie.
I still need to see it.
Yeah.
I have it somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
They're all somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of somewhere, we're going to the wasteland. The Amityville wasteland, that is. Well, this is the second Amityville, anthology released from Retrosploitation. I felt bad because I did want to be a part of this, because I was a part of Amityville Apocalypse, which was the first one of these, but they wanted to only do in-house directors for this one, which is sad, because I would have brought my A game to the table. But we'll see how this is. Could be good, could be bad. Yeah. I got my own projects I'm working on. Bring your A game to the Z movie, right? Exactly.
All right. So my next 2, actually, were both ones I thought I had on DVD, and I'm almost sure I did with the second one. But the first one, I think it turned out that I didn't, and I was very surprised at that. And I think these are both Kino Lorber releases. I'll check when I pull them out. But Kino does pretty regular sales, and sometimes they got really good deals going on, and you got to jump on them.
They had an artsy sale not long ago.
Right. This movie is not generally considered artsy, but it was quite popular back in the day, and I have always kind of been amused by it, and that is the Dave Chappelle starring comedy Half-Baked, which you've also got Jim Brewer, Guillermo Diaz, Clarence Williams III, etc., etc., and a crap ton of cameos. There's Snoop Dogg and Willie Nelson, and in fact, that whole sequence with those different types of stoners is a really funny sequence. It's a good times. It's not a great movie, but it is a lot of fun. And this is actually a really good version. There's some good bonus features on there. Like I said, I thought I had it on DVD, but I don't think I actually did. So either way, I got it now.
I watched it. I didn't get into it as much, but then I also watched the Dave Chappelle's Block Party, and I really didn't get into that.
I did not. Everyone was raving about that, and I watched it, and I was like, eh.
That's back in the days before he became more like holier than thou and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But he gained ethics, I guess, maybe. Or maybe not. Who knows? But this next one is an Animu. A sequel to an Animu. And that is Batman Ninja versus the Yakuza League.
Interesting.
I just found out about this around the time it released, and I was like, okay, I'll grab it.
I must have missed that one entirely.
Batman and his allies find themselves in a fight of their lives as they battle to save Gotham City from the Yakuza League, a group of superpowered individuals resembling the Justice League who have invaded the city. Well, I mean, could be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was pretty fun.
Let's see who we got on here. Okay. Interesting.
And of course, you gotta have Joker in there.
Well, obviously. I'm guessing that's Ra's al Ghul.
Maybe.
And then Harley, of course. But, interesting.
Alright.
Alright, so, sometimes, when you get half-baked, you end up with the title of the next film. A very different movie, by the way. The Lost Weekend.
Ooh, good one.
Really, really good film from back in '45, and if I recall correctly, the Best Picture winner that year. It's a Billy Wilder film, and it is not a comedy. This is a rough film. But Ray Milland is our star. Jane Wyman is in there. And it's probably one of the most clear-eyed, bleak portrayals of alcoholism, at least until the 80s. I mean, I guess in maybe the 70s and 80s, you started seeing more films dealing with these things.
Yeah, that Dick Van Dyke TV movie, which was really dark.
But in the 40s, this was like, holy crap. And it is a really good film. And again, I think I did have this one on DVD, and this is an upgrade to Blu-ray, and it's a nice version. It does have some bonus features as well. But yeah, I actually missed this one on a couple of sales, and it was like I kept planning to get it, and there was at least one time I ordered it and it was sold out, and I had to wait. But then on the next sale, I got it. So yeah.
On the next sale, it stayed.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
It is one of my favorite older films when it comes to Oscar winners. When I work with people in recovery, I actually do recommend that film when they're looking for films that are related to recovery and the difficulties therein, just because it's a really shockingly real portrayal. All right, well, something completely different. Well, the first thing, this is a twofer because I figure these go together.
Right.
So, there was a series that came out in the 80s that was Rumiko Takahashi, one of our favorite mangakas, who created Ranma and Inuyasha. Those are the big ones. And one of her first series was a similar series called Urusei Yatsura. Well, many years later, they decided to do a new Urusei Yatsura series, hence this one, which has seasons 1 and 2 in it, which is the first 23 episodes. But I was a little bit concerned because it took a while, and they were like, okay, here you go, and I'm like, but that's not all of it. But finally, they've come out with 3 and 4, which is the rest, the other 23 episodes. So this completes it, to my knowledge,
It's a
unless they
much
decide to move more.
Much shorter series than the other one, apparently.
But, still. Because it calls it, really and truly, if you look on, I think it's Anime News Network, this is 2 seasons, according to that. So I don't know how they count seasons. I think seasons in anime are weird because they count it one way, and then all the outlets that sell them count it differently. It's just, that's however you want to count them. But this is the whole of that series, which is kind of cool.
Very good. I don't think I have that yet. I need to get it. All right. My next one is checks a bunch of boxes. So it's pretty cool. One, it's prepping us for an upcoming month on Inside Movies Galore. We are in franchise mode this year, and I believe we'll be hitting 4 of these 6 movies in one of the upcoming months. It also allowed me to pick up 2 movies that I'm honestly about, and one that's freaking awesome that I absolutely wanted to have. And I had 2 of them on DVD and 1 on Blu-ray. So already I'm taking 2 DVDs and a Blu-ray and getting 3 new films and putting it all in this very small, slim collection, the Shrek 6-movie collection, which contains Shrek, Shrek 2, Shrek the Third, Shrek Forever After, Puss in Boots, and Puss in Boots The Last Wish. And if I were to rank them, I'd probably say Shrek 2, Puss in Boots The Last Wish, Shrek, Puss in Boots, and then we could say the other 2 way in the back. But they're all watchable. They're all fun. The first 2 were basically right after DreamWorks founding, and they were openly thumbing their noses at Disney. Lord Farquaad's kingdom is basically meant to be Disney World, basically. And it was a great John Lithgow voice acting role. Shrek 2 brought in Antonio Banderas as Puss in Boots, probably one of his best roles ever. And The Last Wish, Puss is running from death. And I have to say, this is one of the best, scariest renditions of death I have ever seen in any media. So, they all, it's worthwhile. We'll be covering the first 4 Shrek movies, next month? A couple months?
Next month.
Next month.
And then the first weekend in June, Shrek the Musical.
Okay. So, we'll have to wait on the Puss in Boots movies, I guess. But still, in addition to the movies, this also contains 11 short films, including The Trident, which I think was one of my choices for last year's Versus Awards. But we got Shrek in the Swamp Karaoke Party, Far, Far Away Idol, Puss in Boots The Three Diablos, The Ghost of Lord Farquaad, Scared Shrekless, Thriller Night, The Pig Who Cried Werewolf, Shrek the Halls, Donkeys Caroling Christmas-tacular, Shrek's Yule Log, and The Trident. And there's also 5 episodes from DreamWorks' The Adventures of Puss in Boots. So there's a lot of shit in this tiny little set.
See, I have that one, which is the 4 set.
Yeah, so his is the same, but it's missing the Puss in Boots movies.
Which I've got those separately, so yeah, they're there.
Like I said, though, great space saver there. I saw an opportunity to get it, and I jumped on it.
Yeah. I do have the Puss in Boots films, they just aren't, what's the word? They aren't present in that particular collection.
Right.
So speaking of collections, we were on here when I was talking about the Suikoden collection, and it's been a great year for retro gamers because a lot of retro gaming is there. I mean, with the Switch 2, talking about GameCube support, that's also pretty cool. Just a lot of cool retro stuff. And one of the announcements, which I really wanted, had come out, and I was so hyped to pre-order it, and they said, no, we're not going to pre-order it. We're not going to put a pre-order. We'll just release, they're going to do two things. It's only through Amazon, and it's going to be like, I think, $5 more expensive than the digital. And that's the only way of getting it. Because their thought was apparently, well, you know, there's not going to be a lot of love for the physical. They're just going to buy it digital. So we don't need to gauge with the pre-order how many to make. Well, that was a mistake. Because as soon as it went live, it sold out. I knew this, so I grabbed it first thing. And I was lucky, and I got the one that everybody wanted. I also have a copy digitally because of convenience, but I wanted it on the disc because I don't trust the digital stuff. And though I am very selective of the games I get on disc, I A, make sure it's all on the disc, and B, it has to be something that I really, 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 really want to keep just in case. Now, what are those games? Well, Lunar, the remastered collection. So this has Lunar Silver Star Story and Lunar 2, what was it? Lunar 2 Eternal Blue. Now this is a series of RPGs that were brought over by Working Designs. They started life on the Sega CD, and then they got remade for the PlayStation 1, and they had these epic collections, which I had, but I had to sell it to buy something else for somebody. And that's the one that they remastered for those. They've had like another re-release of the other, which is supposed to be better graphically for the Sony PSP. But still, this is fun. It's got a lot of cool stuff. They redid the voice acting. You have a lot of anime cutscenes. It has an amazing soundtrack. I am very glad to have this. I am playing through the first game in the series now. I'm taking a break from the Suikoden. I beat the first game of the Suikoden one. Then I plan on beating this one. Then I'll go back to the second Suikoden game. Then I'll go to the second of this, which I'll probably end up playing Mario Kart in between because the Switch is releasing in June, and I did secure a pre-order of the Switch.
Alright.
Here.
Alright. So my last one is also a space saver that helped pick up some new stuff for me. Because I had the original series, but I did not have the reboot series. This collection is Showtime's Dexter, the complete series, along with Dexter New Blood.
Yay!
Now, I'm not 100% sure, because this is supposed to be a Blu-ray case, why they gave me a DVD-sized set.
Yeah,
it's actually a little bit bigger than that Adventure Time set, but the same style. But it does bring together, this has 106 episodes. Whew. I believe the first season was, 8 seasons of the first series. Yep. And then you have the short series, the shorter second series. I had the first series in individual sets, which were not that big, but they definitely add up. This is a little sturdier as well, because those were kind of flimsy cases. Strangely enough, my experience with this show is really weird. I've seen the first 2 episodes. I've seen the final episode. I've seen probably 2 or 3 in between, as well as bits and pieces of several other episodes. And that's really it. And I actually don't think I've seen any of the much vaunted John Lithgow run of the series.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
But I have seen a good chunk, and I like it. It's a good show. I'm not looking forward to marathoning this, because that's going to be a heavy marathon. But this is well worth having in the collection, and it's a much smaller much more easily wielded collection than what I had before. Plus, I picked up the new series, so why not?
I need to finish the new. I need to see the new series.
Yeah.
It just ended awkwardly for me. That last season turned me off of it a bit. I do have that collection. I upgraded. But when I first started, I had basically I got a sample disc with something else.
Right. 2 episodes.
And I saw those 2 episodes. I was like, oh god, I gotta get the rest of this. So only 1 season had come out at the time, so I got the season. I tore through season 1, and Kim saw some of that, and she was like, no, we need to see it together. So we watched it together. Then after that, we got Showtime specifically for that show, and we watched it as it came out all the way to the season finale, which turned us both off of it. So
see, that's one of the reasons I saw the first 2 episodes was I got that sample disc when he was done with it.
What was it? The ice something killer, the ice house, ice truck, ice something killer was the first killer, and he was really good. A lot of people say it's a duel between season 1 and the Lithgow season for the best season of the season.
I didn't even think about that. I ordered these together, so I got 2 of Lithgow's most famous villains in these 2 sets. Interesting.
But, oh my gosh, his acting in that was really good.
He's a solid actor. And it's like there's all this hate right now for them casting him as Dumbledore, and I'm like, that's a strange choice, but I could see him do it.
It's whatever.
And he was the best thing in the Pet Sematary remake.
I don't know how they're going to do that series.
I don't know.
I don't know if they're going to actually take stuff from the books or if they're going to change it a lot, like Wheel of Time, to kind of fit for more representation.
Well, they are doing that. They got a Black Snake.
Yeah, I know they're planning on trying to do representation, but I know, like Wheel of Time, like change story points to incorporate extra gay sex scenes and stuff like that.
I doubt they're going to have extra gay sex scenes in a Harry Potter series.
Well, you don't know. I mean, there could be.
Maybe they'll give us.
Maybe the Dumbledore, because it has been hinted that Dumbledore was gay, so maybe they could have that.
Oh, jeez.
Wheel of Time it.
The scene with his brother and some goats, right?
Now, I've always been iffy about, in all seriousness, I've always been iffy about the Harry Potter stuff ever since some of the stuff about the author, so that's really art versus artist.
Yeah, it's unfortunately, and it's honestly, this is one of the reasons why I'm scaling back on my media, what's the word I'm looking for? Consumption. Not just purchasing, but I'm having trouble right now consuming media. And part of it is people overall are such assholes. But it also helps me not to go down too hard on any one person. Like, Rowling has said some horrible, horrible things. She ought to be ashamed of some of the things she has said and done. But if you look at the people in the public eye, is she really light years worse than all these other people? Like, it's hard to say, I don't agree with some of the things she said. I don't agree with some things Dave Chappelle has said. I don't agree with a lot of the things Mel Gibson said. But I will still, my dying day, Maverick will be one of my favorite films.
I mean, is she worse than Weinstein? No.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, it is great to hear that they are doing a 4K updated release of Dogma.
Yes.
Soon, which I'm glad to have timed my pick of Dogma to be around that. I think I'm going to miss it. That's going to be a little bit late to the party, but still, we're doing it around that time so we can celebrate Kevin Smith getting it back from that thing. So, but
very cool.
It's always been my hope, because as much as people love the Harry Potter movies, I was not a huge fan of them because they had to basically slash a lot of the book material.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of cool stuff in the books. I always thought it would have been better presented as a TV series.
I still say it should be an animated
series.
Yes,
which would even be better because you could age them as you wish. You wouldn't have to rely on worries about actors growing. And you could do a lot with that.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I thought that Harry Potter did have, is it did have a lot of diversity in it.
Mm-hmm.
There were subtle LGBTQ, not T.
Right.
she hates the T.
Right.
Actually, only one side of the T.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there was she did have gay characters and stuff like that were not prominent, but she did make sure that let people know that they were.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of racial equality stuff and so on. That's why I find it weird when people are like, you see that? The goblins and Gringotts, that's because she hates the Jews and she's trying to use Jewish stereotypes. I'm like, I don't think that's why she was doing it.
So are they saying Jews are goblins? Is that
was the other thing. It's like, and it says something about you that you're the one who's looking and making that assumption.
Yeah.
So it's kind of in there. So that's always been curious.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, representation is one of those things that's always a tightrope, because there's a fine line between representation and pandering.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious of which one this will be. Will it be representation or will it be pandering?
Right. I will say one, and then I'll let you get to your thing. The one, I only actually just thought about this too, but if they had to do live action, there were inevitably going to be comparisons with the movies. And they had, again, one of my biggest issues with the movies was that they squandered a phenomenal adult cast. They squandered them.
Oh, yeah.
But a few of them still managed to leave their stamp. And palette swapping Snape might be a smart move, because otherwise he would just be compared to Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
And that's I
think you've got to do a little bit.
Because Alan Rickman was so perfect for that role. It was...
And like I say, that's the difference. Like, it did not bother me with Idris Elba being Roland and the Dark Tower.
That took some getting used to for me.
Because to me, I knew he could do the role.
He's a great actor.
Because he could act out and do it. I mean, if they decided instead to do Chris Rock as Roland, then yes, that would be more of a pandering and less of a thing there. Again, that's where it would be different.
They could bring Elba in as Mad-Eye Moody, and I think that would be really fun.
That would be interesting, actually. I still think that they should have Elba be the head of the Ministry of Magic. What was his name?
Which one?
The second one.
Scrimgeour?
Yeah.
The one Bill Nighy played?
Yeah, because he was talked about like he was a lion-like character or something.
Yeah.
And I could see Idris Elba playing that very well.
I could see that.
So, like I say, it's all about how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it is. That's one of the things that's odd. It's an odd tightrope.
Right.
But enough about that.
Yes.
Let's talk about the desert. It's a scary place, the desert.
It can be.
Has a lot of critters out there, and sometimes those critters will rip your face off and do nasty things to it. And that's what happens in Desert Fiends.
Okay.
So this is the new film that was directed by Sean C. Phillips. We all know him as Cool Duder, and Desert Fiends is a interesting thing. I've been waiting for this for a while. This is the backer copy, and I want to say it started funding in 2023.
Okay.
And it was a cool concept. You got these desert fiend critters who are going around. If you want more, you can see my review of it. I actually have one of the few reviews of desert fiends out there. And they're killing people. And doing worse things than that, but I can't say that on here. So, people going to this rock concert, and there's a lot of different things going on in it at the same time. It's kind of a combination. You would not like this film.
It sounds like it.
Oh, I can guarantee you would hate this film, and I will tell you why. This is not to say that this is a bad film. This is to say it's a film that he would not like. Because it's a combination, in my opinion, of Wrong Turn and The Hills Have Eyes remake.
Okay.
So I know you're maybe not. You probably know at least what Hills Have Eyes is about.
I know it by reputation, and I
And,
fucking hate Wrong Turn.
Yeah, and I know how much you love the Wrong Turn series, and this feels like it takes from some of the other ones, like the later ones, like 6 or something like that. So it's so that's the best description of it. It's kind of done as a horror comedy. There are some comedic moments. There are little pacing issues, but otherwise, it's a pretty solid film. And the main reason, barring those things, that you would dislike this is that the production design on this is off the charts. It really is good. That's where a lot of the money must have gone, because it really.
That's
the
why
gore
I
is
wouldn't like it.
Yeah, because the gore is really realistic. The cannibalism is realistic. The all of that stuff is very realistic looking. Very much there. If you are a gore hound, you will love this film. And it does.
I might just give that a miss.
And you can buy it on sale through Amazon, all the traditional returns. You can't get this one, but there's a Gravitas release out there that you can get there. It doesn't have much on it either, but still, you can have that on there if you want it. It's not that expensive. It's like $14, which isn't too bad. But yeah, support it if you can. Support kind of indie cinema. It's at the level where I would say it's no longer micro budget. Because it's in the 6 figures. But yeah, support that. There's going to be Desert Fiends 2 that's filming now.
Well, 6 figures is still pretty friggin' low budget.
Well, you know, it also has Tom Arnold in it.
That's probably where half of that money went.
So, you know, I mean, so it's got Tom Arnold. He's in there.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's enough to get you to watch it.
And then I guess it sounds like you'll need something to cheer you up afterwards, so you can put that on.
But that's been everything that we've got for the week. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe and share. And of course, I've got a whole slew of reviews that I did. Matter of fact, over the weekend, I edited tons. And I managed to catch everything that I filmed, edited well. Not anymore, because I just filmed this. So now I can actually start working on those vacation videos, which will probably be the next things that you'll see on the channel, which is kind of cool.
Good times.
So, hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
SeptumSin versus the world. It's that place for all the boys and girls. You'll feel real safe, you'll feel real warm. It's a cozy place to ride out the storm. SeptumSin. SeptumSin and his best boy Jake see the trends that scare us every day. Physical media is going to the side. Doctor streaming,